Howdy folks, and welcome back to Dust Customs. So we're going to do a little bit of work today, a bit more work. This will be part 2 on the, what do we call that? The fender bike. Basically what we need to do is try and get the handlebars in, the seat in, somehow mount the shell to the bike and probably try and get the motor running. So this is how we do it. As we know, there's 2 components you need really to get an engine running, such a simple engine like this, which is spark and fuel. So the first thing, as far as I can tell, there was only 3 wires going back to the engine. Those 2, and then 1 here, which I believe is to the electric start, and these, look, I can only assume that is kill switch. Having said that, I don't know where power out would be generating, so maybe that is power out. Look, not really sure, but what I can do is I can pull the plug and just see if when I, pull it over, plenty of compression there, it's generating a spark, and then we'll know, boom, throw a bit of, fuel down the yap, and we should be able to get it running. I'll just go with plug spanner. That's what 19 it is. So we'll just try and crack that. That's easy. A cute little plug. So hook that into there. Touch that to somewhere metal and just see. Yeah, she's got spark. Okay, so basically it should just run. So that could be a kill switch. A lot of times with these small engines, the kill switch is actually earthing it out, and they'll just run without anything. So geez, if I can get that plug to go back in. All right. Biggest trouble I'm going to have is trying to pull it without being mounted to anything. Someone's made a butte oil filter out of a chucks cloth, so we'll remove it. Bit of go juice down it. It runs. There you go, fellas. That was that easy to get running. Okay, so now I know that I've got an engine that runs. I might just give it a bit of a clean up, and we're going to do that. That just started too easy. Definitely 2-stroke. Sweet, sweet. Okay. I'll show you what I've scored. I got an old push bike from a mate of mine. We've been doing a bit of work at his house, and I'm going to try and steal the handlebars and the seat mount and that. I'll go and grab it and I'll spin you around and show you. So we've got an old Southern Star fixie here. I've never seen a bike with a plastic crank before, crank halves, so there's one. Someone will probably end up telling me that this bike's worth $1 million, but anyway, it's getting chopped. Basically what we're going is for, I want the little gooseneck, the handlebars, I'll strip everything else off. I want the seat pole mount. I've ordered a little leather seat. It cost me 20 bucks off eBay. So we're just going to kind of use some bits to weld onto that to make it, steer and turn and all that kind of stuff. Righto, so I cut the headstock off the bike and kind of, used my CNC machine to make a little bracket and welded that all together. That's a lot thicker down here than on this part. So, I got a good weld, good penetration through that. Now what I've got to do is I kind of semi-fitted it. I've figured out that, that hole, which was the original indicator, I've got to move back a bit. So I'm just going to drill that and see how it fits on. Alright, well I'm a little bit further ahead. I've managed to weld a seat pole on. It's all a little bit rough right now. I will do some cleaning up before I paint it. I also managed to weld on these, which will hold, bolt the, that too. So now we'll just do a bit of a trial fit and see how it goes, and a bit of a mock up with the handlebars and that, and call it a night, I think. Well, like I said, the seat's only temporary. I've got a nice leather one for that. Handlebars, yeah, they'll work. I mean, I might put a set of ape hangers or something on it later. I can bring the handlebars down a bit if I want, but we'll just roll it and see how it goes. I've got to get the engine back in. I reckon this thing's going to do wheelies because you're fairly over the back there, but I'll show you how it balances. It's actually not bad, fellas. Like, you have to be leaning fairly over to scrape the peg, and it's only a button. Righto fellas, well we're back at it. Bit of a busy morning this morning, but we've got a bit of time in the Arvo, so what we're going to do is just try and get this thing semi-assembled. I kind of had it mocked up last night. I finished doing all the welding of the seam. I didn't bother filming that kind of stuff, it's kind of boring. But what we're doing right now, I applied a bit of filler to the seam. Now, I've left it rusty because I'm probably going to paint this thing right now to match the rat. I've got the colour for the rat, and I want that kind of, the rusty stuff to come through, but I don't want to see where it was joined, and I mean, all said and done, that looks pretty good with a bit of sand. So now, compressor going in the background. So I've got the little engine mounted in. All I need to do now is I'm just going to disassemble this, not fully, but mostly. I just want to paint the frame. I was thinking of going black originally, but it's already silver, and I think I've got some silver that's pretty close to that. So hey, let's just paint it silver. Let's do things easy. So I'm just going to pull the front forks off completely, I think. I'll just pull them off, put them to a side. I think I'm just going to leave the rear on. I haven't really messed with it much. And then just kind of throw a bit of tape around, give it a clean, wire brush the welds, and just hit it with some paint. Let's get into it. Well fellas, I had a can of this sitting on the shelf. I usually have a couple of cans of this around, so it looks like we're going to paint the frame black, because it's professional. But it is a, where does it say? It's a top coat and a primer in one, and it gives a nice kind of glossy finish. So let's hit it. All right, now we're going to hit it with a bit of the good old primer putty and then see if we can just kind of blend some colour into it. So you probably noticed there I didn't take any time between priming it, painting it, doing all the stuff. I mean, I'm going for this, trying to get this patina look through it. So we've got a bit of this and a bit of that, and you know, I'm trying to, you can see I'm getting a bit of crazing there, which is kind of, it's what I'm going for. So I don't want too much reaction between the paints, but you know, some is just kind of, it just gives it that look, you know. So look, let's let that sit for a bit. I'm pretty happy with that. It's going to look pretty cool. I've even got a headlight sitting here covered in bog dust that I'll probably put in that. That's one of them headlights, you know, just because I've got it. Boom, boom. Righto, well, let's get back out and see how this, the frame's drying. Righto, reassembly time. Let's see how long this takes. Well, she's getting there. Probably I just need to get some fuel to put in it, and then just hook up all the cables to there. I've just got a few little things to do, but I'm going to do that tomorrow. Well, fellas, she's all put together, believe it or not. I haven't hooked up any electricals, like it's you know, it's still a little bit of a work in progress, but I just want to see what it feels like. She's looking pretty cool. I've got the seat all put on and the handlebars and, you know, the brakes and everything like that work. Haven't managed to make an air filter for it yet. Let's see if she cranks up and see if I can drive the thing out of here. Well, it's kind of stupid, but you know, so is everything I do. I mean, look at that. Anyway, there she is. You know, complete. Oh, I've kind of had enough of playing with this thing. I might do a bit more on it some other time, but it drives and it runs and it's, you know, it's kind of cool. So let's get back on with some serious kind of cars, eh? Righto fellas, well that's enough of that mucking around. Let's get back into some car building. Stay tuned, I've got more to come. I'll catch you later.